Benvenuto! Welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to revisit another one of our earlier videos that I never was quite happy with and I wanted to do it over. So we're going to be making what my mother called Hamburg beans. It's got all kinds of names. I've heard it called cowboy beans, beef and beans, many others. And of course there's as wide a variety of ingredients as different names. I've also seen recipes, they call it southern beans, southern beans. There's a ton of sugar in it, lots of brown sugar or white sugar. This is a real basic, easy recipe my mother used to make a few times a month, especially if all of our friends were going to be around the house at dinner time. One, because it's more or less economical, and it's got a few ingredients. It's quick and easy, and I also wanted to redo this because this is a great summertime dish to bring along to a cookout, or if you're having your own cookout, it can be used as a side dish. You can use it as a main course, but very easy, and in my opinion, delicious. Now we're going to make it exactly how my mother made it. Whatever variations you want to do, of course, it's your cooking. Do what you want to do, but we're going to make it just like my mother did. All right, so I'm going to call it Hamburg beans right now. I don't know, I'm not quite sure what we'll title it, but Hamburg beans. So first ingredient is Hamburg. So I've got 2 pounds of I would normally do 85-15, but I've got a pound of 85-15 and a pound of 93-7 because they didn't have 2 pounds of the 85-15. And the next ingredient is beans. Now, again, my mother always used Boston baked beans, seasoned with molasses, pork, and spices. I don't think there was a huge variety of canned beans back in the 70s. But anyway, she always used the Boston baked beans. B&M, I shouldn't say B&M original beans, all right? And as far as spices, really easy. We need some garlic powder or granulated garlic. We definitely need Worcestershire sauce. We need some salt and pepper. I always, and as well as my mother did, I use a little bit of accent. Of course, the measurements will be in the recipe, and then we're going to need some ketchup and yellow mustard. We're going to need a little bit of Weston, a little bit of oil to fry up our onions. And speaking of onions, we need 1 big onion. This happens to be a Vidalia, whatever you can get. Spanish onion works perfect, a big gigantic yellow onion. And we actually like, and especially Wade likes the onions to be kind of big in here, so I just really give it a very rough chop. All right, I already cut my other side, but you chop them up however you like them. All right, so that's really it. We need ketchup, mustard, beef, beans, and some spices. Also, once in a while, and especially in the summertime, if I am doing them for a cookout or something, I'll put a little bit of barbecue sauce in. If I make this in the wintertime, I don't do the barbecue sauce. If I do it in the summer, I do add a little barbecue sauce. So we'll probably put a few squirts in there. All right, so I've got my pan heating up a little bit. I'm going to get the onions in there, and then we'll leave you for a minute, and the beef. So I'm just going to do, just kind of coat it at the bottom. We don't need a lot. We're just going to start our onions, sweat them a bit, start them getting cooking. Now, sometimes you could do, or not sometimes, I've seen people that do this as a casserole, and I've done that in the wintertime. I just throw it in the 350 degree oven for, say, 30 minutes. Everything is already cooked by the time we're going to be heating it through. But in the summertime, I wouldn't heat up the oven. I would just let it simmer on the stove for about 30 minutes after we get all our ingredients in. All right, so we'll crank that up again a little bit. Sprinkle a little bit of salt. Salt and pepper is to taste. I'll season the onions and the beef a little bit as we cook them. And then I put a teaspoon of salt in when I add the other spices. All right. So we're just going to let those sweat a little bit. Now, the rest of this process is just like we have done many times when we've browned beef. Refer to that video. Wait, I'll put a link up there, right? Up there, honey? Yep. Ooh, excuse me. I wanted to mention, don't forget, today is June 1st. The summer is here. It's been a beautiful day in our area today. We may even go out and take a walk around the park later. But don't forget my chili hot dog sauce and also my barbecue hot dog sauce. And again, Wade will put a link up there in case you want to make those. Delicious. Both of those are absolutely delicious. I love the chili sauce for the hot dogs, and the barbecue sauce is a copy of a famous hot dog stand up in our area, which I absolutely love as well. So, all right, I'm not going to bore you much more with this. I'm going to just saute these a little bit. We'll come back for a minute with the ground beef, and in the meantime, I'll pick up our little bit of mess here. All right, see you in a bit. All right, our onions have been sauteing for about 5-6 minutes. I just get back in there for a minute, hon. I just wanted kind of to show you. See, we got a little bit of brown developing on there. That's kind of how I use to judge that they're sweated, and that's where I want them. All right, so we don't need any additional oil or anything because we got the fat from the beef. I just kind of push them aside a little bit and get our beef in the pot. I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorite things in the world is the smell of sauteing onions. Add some peppers to it and some onion, some garlic, it's even better. All right, so again, I'm gonna just put a couple healthy pinches of salt and pepper. And of course, I've got kosher salt here. That looks like a lot, but it's not. Also, you know, one of the reasons I use the accent is if you do use accent, as long as you don't have a problem with, you know, the accent product itself, you can use less salt because the accent is a flavor enhancer, and it does, you know, add a little bit of a salty taste to whatever you're cooking without adding additional sodium. All right, so from this point on, we're gonna just brown our beef, just like we've done in countless other videos, and especially our how to brown ground beef. So, unless you wanna stand here and listen to me talk for the next 10 minutes, we'll see you, and they don't wanna do that, right, Wade?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, we'll see you when our ground beef is all browned. All right, guys, our beef is nicely browned. You know, again, well, you watch the episode about browning beef. All right, so the next thing I do is I've got our spices in here, our salt, pepper, and granulated garlic. And I always I've turned my heat down to medium-low. I like to put the spices in and spinning it and stir it around. One, it's going to distribute it, but also I'm trying to not break up the beans as much as I can as we add them in. All right, and I do the same with the ketchup and the mustard. I usually use just about a cup of ketchup, which, like I said, in some of the recipes I've seen over the years that has a lot of sugar in it. The ketchup has got the sweetness in it, so don't need to add any sugar. All right, we'll give that a stir around. Again, just in an effort not to break our beans up, we'll put our Worcestershire sauce in. Give that a stir. And let's get our beans in. Get out of there. Now again, if you wanted to use some type of barbecue baked beans or God, there's so many different kinds of beans out there nowadays, huh? Didn't get all over the place though. Okay, so I'm gonna gently fold these in.
How about your homemade Boston baked beans?
Oh, well, you could use them, but yeah, why? To me, that would be a waste. But you could. You know, I mean, one, it takes so long to do them, and all the hours cooking. But you could. I remember once in a while when my grandmother would make her baked beans, and she'd bring them over, and if my mother mentioned she was going to make hamburger beans, my grandmother didn't like it. Using her beans for this, but anyway. All right, so there we go, guys. Now that is it. We're done. We just got to let this heat through. Like I said, if you want to, you could put this in a preheated 350 degree oven for 25-30 minutes. I'm just going to cover it, and I'm going to let it heat up right here on our little cooktop. Oh, excuse me, I just burped. We're watching, I know sometimes Todd notices what we've got on TV, and so does Jojo, but I've gone through all of my keeping up appearances, so now I'm on As Time Goes By. I've been watching these for years. I've got As Time Goes By, Keeping Up Appearances, Are You Being Served, the 2-year follow-up to Are You Being Served, which I can't, Grace and Manor, although in America they call it Are You Being Served Again. And what's that new one you just found for me? No Place Like Home?
Yeah.
That I have really enjoyed that. That's again is another British sitcom. I wasn't feeling good a couple days ago, and I was up half the night watching them, and I'd fall asleep for 10 in the living room, so I wouldn't disturb Wade. I'd watch 10 or 15 minutes, fall asleep. But it's kind of what I do with all of these. I'm sure I've seen a full episode all the way through, but generally, if the news isn't on in the kitchen TV, I love Dark Shadows too, but I never start to watch Dark Shadows until late September. As soon as the leaves start to turn, I watch my Dark Shadows, which Wade got me the entire box set of that many years ago. So it's like, even though I watch them over and over again, certain parts of it I can recite the dialogue by memory, but then every once in a while they'll be saying, "Oh, I've never seen that bit," and I stop and watch it. But anyway, all right, we've probably got about 20 minutes till our hamburger and beans, or beef and beans, or cowboy chili, cowboy beef and beans. Anyway, and then we'll be ready to eat. I think our last video we did brown bread, and I forgot brown bread. I don't know why I had in my head I wanted some cornbread, because when I was at the supermarket yesterday, they had some nice, the little loaves, and I love that cornbread. Of course, I went there today, they didn't have it, so I got some corn muffins, and then as I'm driving home, I'm thinking, oh, I should have gotten the brown bread. But we're going to have that, you can serve it with the B&M brown bread, toast it up a little bit of butter. It's delicious. We're going to have some corn muffins with it, and I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of cheddar cheese on top, so it looks pretty, and we'll see you for dinner. Well, once again, the best part of cooking is eating. Yeah. Let's dig in. Hamburger and beans. Hamburger and beans. This is always one of our favorite things. So simple. It's delicious.
It is.
When I make a big batch like this, unless I'm doing it for, there's going to be a party or something, this will last us a couple days. We'll have it for probably lunch tomorrow. Way to probably have some with breakfast with eggs tomorrow.
Maybe, yeah. It's delicious. Yeah.
A little bit of cornbread.
The ultimate comfort food.
I agree. All right, that's all I got to say. Oh, no, well, I hope you make it. Hope you try this and hope you enjoy it.
Yes. And please like and subscribe. Check out cherryhomecooking.com. See you in the next video.
Ciao.
Bye. That is good.